Fish 2? 2? Floor 2. Oh, can't go anywhere. To the left. There's plenty to eat here. Here we are, Frontier Airlines. Right there, with Las Vegas in the background. Let's get ready to say goodbye to this town. I'm gonna miss it. It was a lot happened this week. A lot that I will never, ever forget.
Woke up my bladder.
Where were you supposed to go before we got on?
I did. Your body gets it all the time.
Yeah. I'm afraid of that because I go all the time now. That is who was on the tail.
Wow. Coming here.
Whoa.
Florida's much, we live there too.
Yeah. Okay. Row 5.
Hello, welcome.
How you doing? Here are the options for Frontier Airlines, another a la carte airline where you have to pay for your drinks on the airline. You do not get anything complimentary. Just like Spirit Airline, they do the prices for individual items and then they combo it together.
Cut out right about here, about 100 miles an hour. There we go, there's your 160. Oh man, he goosed this thing.
New sphere. You can see the new sphere. There's the strip.
There's the stadium right there.
Here you go, the Watson to Key Deer combo. 1 alcoholic drink, 1 regular drink, and a snack.
To a successful trip to Vegas.
What?
To a successful trip to Vegas.
You might need to take it without the flash. Without the flash. Here, turn the flash off.
Have what? What's that?
Here, now take it. Do the same thing.
I don't think I got it.
Here, try it again one more time. Hold the button down. May not have. I got video of it. Oh, you're missing the landing. Bunch of baby turtles. Here we are, back in Tampa. I want to really thank him for everything we were able to do. We end as we started in the Orange Parking Garage. Tampa, Florida was one hell of a trip. One hell of a trip. Now, did everything that I pitched get done? Absolutely not. But I think even more was done by bonding with the men that he served with and worked with, by bonding with a whole new system. All right, I got you. Sorry.
Yep. I believe it's right over there. I know we were close to that edge. Yeah, we're trying to find the truck. So, on that note, we're done with our biggest trip. We're done with our biggest trip. And, yep. On the wrong level. There's the truck. I see it. We were on level 3. Oh boy. That's what 5 days in Vegas will do to you. So, yeah. We're on our way home. Hope you enjoyed any of the footage, and enjoy.
Hey, all, Jeremy here. I just want to thank you for watching this series. I am back home. I am pretty jet lagged. I actually had to come home, jump through a bunch of hoops, then work the next day, jump through a whole bunch of more hoops, and I'm still, even 24 hours later, I am jet lagged. I am tired. but I promised you guys a Frontier Airlines review. Now, I'll make it quick. During my first video with Spirit Airlines, I said that I was regretting not buying into the Wi-Fi system, and I said, hey, when I ride Frontier, let's get the Wi-Fi. Well, come to find out, Frontier Airline has zero Wi-Fi, zero onboard entertainment, and less than what Spirit Airlines has. None. Does that make it a bad airline? No. I think I had a pretty good flight. The food was decent. This time I actually ordered the food. I ended up getting the Watson Key Deer bundle, which is 1 alcoholic drink, 1 soda, and 1 snack for $16. And the reason why I got that is because I saw one of my favorite beers, which is Fat Tire beer. Delicious. Now, for the ride home, I was lucky enough that before I started all of this, I ended up downloading a Joe Rogan podcast with Sonny from Best Food Ever Review Show, one of my favorite YouTube channels. Sonny is hilarious, and just like Andrew Zimmerman, just like Anthony Bourdain, he travels the world, eats very odd foods, but he is really good at keeping a straight face and not getting disgusted by food that would probably turn most of our stomachs. And he got into the psychology of getting into wanting to get into the mindset of the native people and why something that would be too bitter or too sour for our taste here in America. And that's how he overcomes trying to stay friendly and stay positive. And that, to me, and that message is one of the best messages you can have. Always try to stay positive. Always try to make the people around you feel welcome, and don't try to make them feel like they're out of place. That happened a lot with me in this situation in Vegas. More about that soon. Back to Frontier Airlines. I'm sorry for the sidetrack there. Yeah, between the podcast, between the food, and a nap. I got a nap this time. I didn't nap the first time, so the footage on the plane with the time-lapse videos like I did in the first one, yeah, I'm shooting all on an iPhone. Time-lapse and travel videos, I love them. You might not like them. I love it. I think it just gets you from point A to point B in a creative way with your editing. I might add some more if you feel I don't need it and you want to see more slow-paced. Put it down in the comments. Yeah, and we got lost in a parking lot on the way back. I was on the wrong floor. Yeah, Frontier Airlines, it came about the same price as Spirit Airlines. I think you get a little bit more options on Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines, the difference between the two is Spirit Airlines, your tray is not a front down folding tray like a normal airline. It comes up out of the seat arm, so it's very small. It kind of feels like a school desk. You remember those little tiny on one side school desk things that you would have to take a test on, and kind of, yeah, that's what Spirit Airlines feels like. Now, Frontier Airlines does have the fold down from the front seat, but it's about half the size that you get on a normal Southwest or Delta or American Airlines. It's very small, just enough to prop up your phone, enough to prop up food or two, but really to write down on a piece of paper or to, it's kind of small. The seats are very basic. I mean, it's a plastic seat right in front of you. I mean, bare bones on that. It kind of feels like a bus seat. Not unlike an airline seat. There was less legroom on Frontier compared to Spirit, but that could have been because we were further forward in Spirit, and Spirit does have the option to have leather seats on the first 2 rows. We were in row 3. Frontier does not have any option for leather seats, and from what I could tell, no option for extra legroom. I would definitely ride both of them again. See, to me, I'm budget conscious when I travel. I would rather spend my money on experiences when I get there, and a hotel and a plane. A hotel is a place to sleep.
It's a place to sleep especially if you're out drinking or out having, doing something fun. It's a place where oh shoot, there we go. Sorry, pop up on the phone. See, I'm filming on a phone. But to me, I don't mind a lower budget hotel or a lower budget airline, because I want to focus on the experience when I get there. And if that means eating a better meal or going to more attractions or going to more locations when I get there, I would rather spend my money on things that are going to create a memory for me than luxury when there's a point that I'm sitting still. If I'm sitting still, that to me does not create a memory. That does not create a lasting memory. It's kind of when I talk to my kids, let's go out and do something. Let's go to the park. Let's go to a movie. Let's go to something over the weekend if we have a long weekend. It's because you will remember that compared to you sitting at home and playing video games. You sit at home and play video games 100 times a year, you're not going to remember that. But if you travel 3 times or 4 times a year, you're going to remember that 5, 10, 15 years down the road. The reason why I say that is because my last big trip with my grandfather was when I was 12. They flew us out to San Francisco, and we zigzagged all across the United States. Went from San Francisco down to Tijuana up to Las Vegas. So yes, I was in Las Vegas with my grandfather at 12 years old. This was in 1988. So if you want to do the math, it shows how old I am. It was the year that Yellowstone was on fire. 2/3 of the park caught on fire, and we went there and watched them putting the roof out on fire at the lodge. Hordes, bunch of buffalo. What do you call a group of buffalo? Shoot, I forget. I'll remember it. I'll put it right here. All the buffalo were running through the middle of the street, multiple herds of buffalo merging with you. Now, why do I remember this? Because I was 12 years old. You shouldn't remember everything that you're 12 years old. That's because we traveled, compared to going to something that is expensive at home, playing a video game at home, watching TV at home. When you travel, you create memories, and that's why this trip was so important to me, because I had such a large trip with my grandfather and my grandmother, who's not here with us anymore. We went across the United States, and I remember almost every stop of that trip. And this trip I won't forget, because there was so much time bonding with him and helping him. And yes, I left parts in where he was forgetting stuff, or I had to repeat myself. And that is part of what I wanted to document in this, because he is 96 years old, and traveling with a 96-year-old, there's part of it where I heard, when you're young, your world is small. There's not much to your world. When you become middle-aged, your world gets huge, because you're traveling, because you have kids, because you have a job, you're absorbing all this stuff around you. And then when you get old again, your world gets small again, because you're not traveling. You're only waking up and you're watching the television, or you're making a phone call, or you're maybe having a dinner with friends throughout the week. But for the most part, you're in your room, you're isolated. Especially if you're in a nursing home, your world is very small. But luckily, he still lives in his house at 96, and that's a blessing to have him along here in my late 40s. Yeah, I'm old. See, I told you to do the math. But yeah, I can't thank him enough for inviting me on this trip. It meant the world to me. And one day he's not going to be here. And this series is going to help me remember. And for my family who weren't allowed to come, they're going to be able to watch this series. So if you have an elderly family member, if you have anybody who is sick, I highly suggest pick up the camera, document, preserve their legacy, put it online. And that way, for when they're gone, this right here on YouTube will be a way for you to reflect back and remember who they were when they still had their wits, when they were still healthy, when wanting to go out and have a good time and go to Vegas at 96 years old, you pick up a camera, you film, you document. Not everything is comfortable. Not every shot was in order, because you know what, like I said earlier, when we got to the hotel, it was kind of hectic. So I had to reshoot stuff later. When we were out on Fremont Street during the day, that was filmed over multiple days. When we were doing the night thing, that was filmed over multiple days because it was limited. He was cold. I couldn't keep him out as often as I would like to really film him. My God, there's one part that I really wish I didn't mess up. And during his daytime, riding down Bourbon Street, man, I got New Orleans on my mind. I made that mistake earlier in another video. Going down Fremont Street, I had a microphone on him. I had a lav mic on his chest. And I just told him, scoot down, look at all the bars, look at all the casinos, and tell me what you remember, because you've been coming here for almost 40, 50 years. You know what old Vegas was like. I would love to get your perspective on that. And I'm just following him with the camera, and I see him chattering and talking and doing all this stuff. And then the girls came up with the showgirls, and we got that wonderful footage. But the whole time, his mic was off. And my God, I wish I got that audio. I wish his opinion on going into the Four Queens and going into all of the old casinos back in the day and how everything has changed. That's what I really wanted to capture. I got a little bit of it inside the Golden Gate until they told me to put my cameras down because we were near the card games. And, you know, understandable. You keep your cameras down during the card games. You can film slot machines. You can't cheat there, but you can cheat filming around card games. So I put the camera down. Did I film everything that I wanted to? No. Did I want to film more of him? Yes. Did I want to film more of his organization? Yes. But I was hesitant at early because that organization was a secret organization for a long time. They're just now starting to open up. I got secret handshakes and secret voting hand signs and everything. And I even got a little bit of the ceremony swearing in the new Golden Rodent. I love the titles. Golden Rodent, Silver Rodent, Blue Rodent, Turquoise Rodent, Bubonic Plague Rodent, Holy Rodent, Black Plague Rodent. Yeah, there's even more rodents. What a group. Just sitting around guys, you know, that their bodies are breaking down. They're losing a lot of friends. They're burying a lot of their members. That group was very strong at one point, but as the World War II and the Korean War veterans, they're almost all gone. And my grandfather is one of the last ones there of his generation. And that's also why I wanted to document this, is because I realize what's important to him is fading. The group is fading, and they really need new members. So if you are a veteran, a discharged veteran of a foreign war, and you want to be part of this, look it up, National Order of the Trench Rats. Holy moly, I said this was going to be a short review about Frontier Airlines, and here I am rambling. So let's wrap it up. Thank you for joining me on my Vegas trip. Thank you for supporting me and my grandfather throughout all of this. If you're a veteran, look it up, notrhq.org. Thank you so much. This series really means a lot to me. It will for a long time. Here I am getting emotional. So, you know what? That's it. As I say, enjoy.